Hello. Hi out there. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. Ken here at the Stamps of Life. Oh, what's going on there? I think you can hear me, but you can't see me. What is going on? No, I'm there. Why can you not see me? Hang on. I'm here. Boom. There I am. I hid myself. Hello. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. We'll redo that. Tuesday, September 23rd. Just 1 week to go. 1 week to go, and we're done with September. Welcome, all of you. Let's see who's here. We got a few of you. I saw Vera was here earlier. Rochelle, hi. Amanda, Sylvie, Diane, Rachel, Janet, and Amanda. Welcome, everybody. Let's get started. We are going to have some fun today. We have some dies to look at, a stamp and die combination, all kinds of fun stuff. Before I really get started, I wanted to mention there is let me get some of these different things up going up here so we don't forget about that. Take Two Tuesday. Again, if this is your first time watching Take Two Tuesday, what we do here at the Stamps of Life is once a week we gather together. My name is Ken. I'm one of the owners here of the company. We're a card making company, scrapbooking supplies, dies, inks, clear stamps, all that fun stuff you need, card bases to make cards, greeting cards, or embellish a scrapbook page, or maybe you have some other paper crafts. We make the items for that. You can find them all on our website, thestampsoflife.com. But what we do during Take Two Tuesdays, we gather together and we look at some items from the past. So this is a take two, a second look at something from the past here at the Stamps of Life. That we have a lot of things on our website. So maybe you've never seen them. And this is a reminder for you to check them out. You want to check them out. I want to make sure I'm in focus. I'm not 100% sure I am. 1 second. There we go. So this is a reminder for you. Maybe you've never seen these items, and some of you already have purchased these items from us, and you haven't used them for a long time because you forgot you had them. So this is kind of a refresher for you. So you remember that you have it, and you can use it. And like we always tell you, Stephanie, and I like to remind you that a lot of the items that we currently release coordinate with items from the past. They can be used together. So we're looking for ways to do that. And so that's what we do. We will look at some of these items. We will have today we'll have some fun facts about something related to our stamp and die combination. We'll save that. And then we're going to play a game. We're going to play the Millionaire game today. We haven't done that for, I think, like a month and a half. Last time we won $1 million, pretend $1 million, but we won. And what else we're going to do? We'll have our good news devotion at the end. That will be from Romans chapter 12. We'll pick out one verse from Romans chapter 12. Romans is a great book, and we'll try to see how we can apply that, God's word, to our life. So that is our good news segment at the end. So hopefully you'll hang around with us all the way till then. If you want to just read Romans 12 and do nothing else today, that would be awesome for you. If you don't even watch my video, cool. But if you want to be blessed, you want to open up God's word. What else? We're having lots of fun out here. Oh, I was trying to get to, this is the last chance to get the, I better add that right. Last chance to get the September Christmas lights folded die set with the stencils, and you get the idea card. Now, the only way you can get these items is by joining the Stamps of Life Fold It Club. So this is the last day these are going to be offered, and then they get retired because we're going to have a brand new set coming out tonight, flash tomorrow. Stephanie's going to do a club reveal tonight. So be prepared for that. Later on today, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Stephanie's going to reveal the new Fold It Club tonight on YouTube, Facebook, and hopefully Instagram. So stay tuned for that. Set yourself alarm. I guess that would be the best way to do it. And Stephanie will be live later on today. And so this one's going to go away. It's kind of nice for Christmas season. You could crank out a lot of cards using this, but we're going to go on to our next monthly Fold It Club item. So if you're in the club, we're going to start shipping those tomorrow. If you're not, this is a great chance to jump in and join the club. You get club points, you get club discount. Anytime you shop on our website, you get 15% off. Again, you earn the club points. It's just fun being in the club. Sometimes we send out extra freebies. When you do sign up for the club, you get a welcome gift for that one. That's a really nice die set. And all of our clubs, any of them that you join, you're going to get a extra gift as when you sign up. So check that out on our website. You just go to the stampsoflife.com, and up there at the top, there's a tab that says join the club. You can do that. Well, let's see. What else do I have going on here? Let me get rid of that banner that's moving down below me. Get rid of that. And what else do I have in here? Okay, so I told you, another thing, Crafting Corner is going to be special this week because Stephanie is going to do a 30-second card in 5 minutes live on Crafting Corner this week. So you'll want to jump in for that. Shelly, you could possibly be the only other person on Facebook today. It looks like everybody is on YouTube. So Shelly, I don't know if you use YouTube, you might want to switch over there. There's a little more activity. But I see you're the only comment so far on Facebook. We got a slow starting crowd today, so hopefully we'll pick up. But to get you guys all involved, this is just for fun, get things rolling. I want you to jump in and answer this. If you were going to order a pizza today, what would be your one favorite topping that you want to add to your pizza? Just one. Well, if you want to do more than one topping, I'll allow it. But what would you put on your pizza? If you were ordering pizza for lunch, it's just about lunchtime here. And what would you want to put on your pizza? What's your favorite item? It could be a one item or a two. Now that I think about it, I really kind of like the combo ones, like a barbecue chicken pizza. That's good. Ham and mushroom, like it's the Canadian bacon kind of ham. That's good. I like that. Ham and pineapple. I know that's one of those divisive things, right? Ham and pineapple. Fruit on a pizza sounds weird, but it's good. But what do you guys, what's your favorite? If you want to have a pizza today, what would you throw on your pizza? I think it was last week I got a Costco pizza. They're only $9.99. Big old pizza. You only get one topping though. They used to have a combo that was really awesome, but they got rid of that during COVID. So combo's gone. So we get pepperoni, and you also could get just plain cheese if that's kind of boring, but you could get that. So yeah, little by little that pizza disappeared. I think I threw the box out about a week later, but it was good. It was good. So cheap. Let's see, what are you guys voting for? Oh, if you're joining later and you don't get to comment while we're doing this live, you can put your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Always add your comments down below. If you're just watching later, hey, I'm watching later, this is my answer. Let's see what we have. Some people telling us here. Amanda says she would go mushroom. Yeah, I like mushroom and ham. That's good. Diane says pepperoni. Michelle says meat. Yeah, meat lovers. Phyllis says ham. Teresa says pepperoni. Vet would go pepperoni and bacon. That's a good combo. Can't go wrong with pizza. Almost anything works with bacon, don't you guys think? Almost anything. Sylvie says pepperoni and mushroom. Nice. Vera says spinach and mushrooms. And Laura says pepperoni mushroom. Debbie says pepperoni. Shelly says my son's birthday today. You want a cream cheese and shrimp pizza. Wow. I've never heard of that combo. Cream cheese sounds good and shrimp sounds good. So throw it on pizza, see what happens. Laura's got pepperoni mushroom, and there's another tomato and onion vote. As Shauna says, Italian sausage. See, everybody is into pizza, right? Shauna goes pepperoni. Janet, mushroom sausage. Dawn Lynch says meat lovers. And another Dawn Young, a pizza place made me a jerk chicken pizza. Wow. Fancy. Okay, so now we're all hungry, so we should just stop and let's go eat lunch, right? Is that what we should do, or should we continue on? We could just stop and go eat pizza. Well, let's continue on since we're here. What else is going on? Our website. We added a couple of new items on our website. Do I have my card samples? I do. So back on the 20th, we added these new items. And I have a couple samples. They are called rounded. I'm not sure how I'm speaking today. Rounded step up. I don't know. What are these called? Rounded center step up. So they kind of fit on a step up card. But you can use it a lot of different ways. I would work on a 5x7 or an A2 card. It doesn't have to be the step up, but they're kind of designed for that. But let me show you the website real quick so you can see what I am talking about. And I did not get that ready. So let's see what we can do there. So stampsoflife.com. And we're going to switch over there. So if you are on the website, you just entered the stampsoflife.com. And there's the 3 new items that came out on the 20th. We have the cool maple leaf. I didn't bring any samples for that, but that's on the website. Then I did bring samples for these 2. These are the rounded center step ups. So I have these, I have the items here, and then I'm going to show you the card samples, okay? I'm going to show you the card samples that I have in case you've missed it. They're really nice. Let's see. Let's go ahead and switch over there. There we are. Hey, you can see me over there. I never even paid attention on that little TV. So here we are. Happy birthday, it says. Ooh, let's see if we can straighten that out a little bit. So this is on the website. Again, just released a few days ago. Oh, can you see that? I think you can. Let's go a little bit lower. This arm is not that great that's holding my camera today for some reason. All right, here we go. So happy birthday, it says. And then here is again, so that's on a step up card, just like we were talking about, but here it is on the front of an A2 card, thinking of you, and another A2 sample. So it makes a little nice background for you. You can use that arch that way, and it does include the words. And then here's a nice step up, happy birthday. That is fun. And here we go, happy birthday again with some cupcakes. Just when we were talking about lunch, now we're talking about cupcakes. We're not going to make it. We're gonna have to get something to eat pretty soon. Yeah. Oh, here's a fun idea. Step up and look at how the designer added that fence there in the front. Really looks cute. Thinking of you. It says one more. Here's another example how it's not used on a step up card, but it's used on the front of an A2 card. Kind of like a shaker. Yeah, it is a shaker in there. Fun. So that is on the website. Those items were, if you missed them, they're still on there. I think they're not on flash sale anymore. So here's what they look like. You get that for the front, and you get some stars too. So you get 2, 1, 2, 3 dies. How many dies? I'm going to check this out real quick. You get a few dies here. You get, looks like 4 dies. 4 dies. So you're going to get this nice panel, and then you get your words there with candles, and then thinking of you, and there's also something on the back on that one too, some flower patterns there too. So that's a nice set. I think that's really nice. So that's on the website. So I did that. What else do we have? I told you about Crafting Corner. Stephanie's going to do a live 30-second card. The new card kit is shipping. What is that called? Festive Greetings. We shipped it out last Monday, but it's still available. So if you want to join the club, you can get that one. If you place your order today, it would probably ship out tomorrow. Yeah. So those are ready to go if you want. It's perfect for Christmas card making. All right, let's get rid of that, and let's start to have some fun here. Get rid of that. I'm going to put my name up here just for a second. Again, so you remember Ken here at the Stamps of Life. We are going to open up with something from, I think it's 2021. So about 4 years old. Our first item is this collection. And you know we have lots of these. This is the Little Peeps monkey version. So there are stamps and there are coordinating dies. You can use these together, or they can work separate. If you just bought the stamps, you'd have to hand cut. You probably don't want to do that. So we do have the dies, but you can also paper piece with these dies. You can have some fun with it. Let me go ahead and show you the card samples that I have here with me in the studio. And we'll switch over to that real quick. Oh, let me find the correct slide and get rid of my name. That one. So when is this from? Oh, where is monkey? Is it this one? No, that's coming up. That Little Peeps monkey from November of 2021. So about 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Now that one's a little bit tall. We'll come back to that in a minute. I've got a couple slim lines here, so we'll get those out of the way. Let's see. Am I too close now? I am. Let's try this. I think this might be just right. Here we go. Some A2 cards. Lots of good ideas here. It says, that sounds like monkey business, it says. Oh, well, you just can't get away from the food today, right? Here's a monkey eating some sundae. click this real quick. I'll be right back. That looks like on a mini slimline. So this is, again, that sounds like monkey business. You've got our little monkey guy with some nice flowers and leaves. That looks good. Oh, this is a cool one. A monkey with a barrel. A monkey with a barrel. I'm wondering where that barrel came from because I don't know. Does anybody know where that barrel came from? I do not recognize that barrel. You are more fun than a barrel of monkeys, that one says. And he's in his barrel. Happy everything on this Little Peeps monkey card. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, we're going to save the taller ones for a second here. Ooh, it's getting warm in here today. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle, it says. Cool. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. So lots of good ideas there. And let me show you the larger cards and a kind of a scrapbook page. We'll set those off to the side for a second. Oh, I wanted to tell you real quick. I'll go back to the samples here in just a minute. If you want to try a little trick, you remember last week I tried using one of these trays to keep track of all my dies after I use them. So I'd run it through the machine, and I had the setting right next to my machine. And after I used the die, I would put it in the die. Well, guess what? At the end of all my card making and the ideas that I was showing you last week, all of the dies were actually in there. Can you believe it? It worked. So when I went to look for things that normally are missing, I found them all in this little tray. I think we got this like at a 99-cent store or a Dollar General or something like that. So it did work. So if you have any little trays like that, keep it next to where you're die cutting. After you run your dies through the machine, take the dies and just put it right in the tray. For me, it worked. So give it a try. What else might work? Like a pie tin could work. Or maybe a plate that has like a little edge that would keep things from sliding out. Give it a try. It worked for me. It helped a lot. So at the end of the show, I was not like looking through all my junk down here. It really worked. It really, really worked. Oh, you guys have some ideas where the barrels are from? I think those barrels are from the Pansy class. Okay. That's possible. The designer put the two barrels together. That's good. Yeah, there's the apple barrel. That's much larger, but that could work too. So, Teresa says she uses a magnetic dish from the Harbor Freight. Good idea, Teresa. I think that would be even better, magnetic. But anyway, that little tray worked for me. Maybe you have something like Teresa had an idea. Don says magnet sheet. Yep. Glue could get on the tray. That's why it's a cheap tray, Don. It's 99 cents. I don't care if it gets glue on it or not. But magnet sheets, those are even better, right? I was just trying to think of something here because I don't have any magnet sheets. So they're in such hot demand. We're not even allowed to have them at Take Two Tuesday. They never make it in here. Or they get here and then they disappear. Like, oh, there I see some magnet sheets down on the ground, some of the HSN magnet sheets. All right, here we go. These are the larger cards that I didn't show you. Okay. So here we are. Zoo, it says. Can't really tell there. It's kind of a scrapbook page. So you see we also have our little Peep zebra on there and giraffe. And you could add a photo up there or something that looks like day at the zoo. That's a fun idea. And here's our monkeys up in our tree. This is a little bit larger card. I think it's under the 5x7 cards, a tree there. And here's another tree idea with our monkeys going crazy. Some crazy monkeys, right? Oops. So that would fold out. It's a fold it 5x7. It's what it's called. Fold it tree. See how that works? So that opens up. Add your monkeys to the front. Your card opens. Boom. Like that. And we're going to see, was this a top open or a side? Oh, so again, fold it. I'm just showing you ideas for fold it's here. It looks like that. Your recipient gets it, but it opens up from the side. What is it saying there? You are more fun than a barrel of monkeys. So that's there. And then I have a slimline. And this slim line says, "Not my circus, not my monkeys." So that's there. Kind of hard to see all that. I'm going to tip it. So there's our monkeys, some upside down ones. Not my circus. So those are some fun ideas. And let me show you the website. Again, that's Little Peeps Monkey. And we have lots of different Little Peeps, but let's go ahead and check out the monkeys here real quick. Right over there. And let me find that page for you. Little Peeps Monkey, I added in there. If you just add in monkey on our website, it's going to pull this up. And let's see, what do you get? Oh, only 14 left. So if you want this one, don't wait too long. 10 stamps in the stamp set. And that's on a 4x6 sheet. Our stamps are made in the USA. And if you scroll through here, you're going to get all the ideas. Probably, I'm not sure if I saw that one. Some of these we have seen. So the ideas are on there. And in the gallery, there will be a section, I'm sure, with Little Peeps. So even though these show a monkey on these ideas, if you have one of the other ones, a zebra or a dog or any other Little Peeps, you could add them to this. The characters, the boys and girls, Kirsten and Katie and Liam and Miller, all those. So that's on the website. Scroll down there, dies will be there, and then you see the giraffe and a little horse. We've got the frog, dog. See, I forgot all these. Bear, and there's like the Miller and Kirsten. So scroll down there. All the add-ons are down there. Lots of fun stuff. Okay, that is on the website again from November of 2021. You might already have them. Let's see what else. We've got that. We did the website. Hey, let's go ahead and let's try to stamp with these and die cut with these. Okay. So I'm going to switch you over cameras here. So you can go to my workstation. Whoops, not that one. Is that going to cut? Nope. What's going on here? I think I did it too quick. Cut, cut, cut. Oh, I didn't turn on my camera. That's why. The computer is smarter than Ken. So it wouldn't switch over cameras because it was all, hey, your camera's not on, so there's nothing to switch to. Smarter than me. So there's the stamp set. All right. So you can see what you get in there. It has those sentiments. You are more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Not my circus, not my monkeys. That sounds like monkey business. It's got that number 7. I wonder why the number 7 is on there. Is there a reason that are monkeys connected to the number 7? Or did Stephanie just pick a random number? And then you get the dies there. Okay, so the dies. And let's go ahead and stamp first, and then I'll show you that I did already die cut with this one. Let's get this guy out of here. Put that off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and move this machine over a little bit. Hopefully that will give us enough workspace. I'm using the secret weapon here just to help get some really good impressions. Is that going to get enough out of the way? I'm trying not to set this on the ground because we're going to come back to this machine in a little bit. All right, so we got our stamp set. We don't need that big of a block. We want something that just about fits the monkey just right. Okay, we're going to got that. Let's get the monkey out of here. And we're going to stamp him, and we will die cut him as well. Will we die cut? Yeah, why not? Let's die cut it. We're going to get that on like that. And what color do I want the monkey to be? Let's pick something different. Yesterday I was playing around and I used the licorice, but let's give our monkey some color. Set that down there. He does have a lot of lines on him, so you want to make sure those lines get filled in. And the best way to do that is, maybe get some scratch paper and test when you first open these up. Make sure you're going to get some nice impressions, and you can do that just run a little test. Why not? So we'll do that on the black sheet. I'll do this real quick and see if I got it all. It looks good, but press down on all the sides. Okay, press down on all parts there. And he's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good. Let's do it one more time. That was our practice run. This little guy, we'll go ahead and die cut him. Okay. I'm going to ink that up again. And let's get that. And we're going to cut out some clothes for this guy too. Okay, that looks good. And let's go ahead and I'll turn up my lights a little bit here. Bear with me for 1 second. Lighten things up just a little bit. Come on. Nope, you don't want to do that. X. Okay, we're going to, whoop. And sorry, exposure. No, it's not working. Cancel that. Okay, let's try again. There we go. Okay, not quite so dark, huh? That's better. All right, let's go ahead and now some of this might have been drying, so I want to make sure one more time I get some extra ink on there. Question for you. Now, we talked about pizza, but here's another one. Of jungle animals, think of jungle only, not a farm or not around your house or not in the North Pole or not in the ocean. What is your favorite jungle animal? What is your favorite jungle animal? I would have to say monkeys are up there for me. Gorillas. What is your favorite jungle animal? Okay, there is our die cut there, or our stamp. He came out nice. Actually, I missed a little spot there, so I'm going to try that one more time. He should look better than that. So let's try it one more time. Yesterday when I did the licorice, the black ink came out a little bit nicer. So what is your favorite jungle animal? There's, think of like toucan, a big old snake. They have snakes. Alligators are kind of jungle, right? They got lots of crazy birds, huh? Don't they have like big old huge frogs in the jungle? What else is in the jungle? There's lions, tigers. I think panthers. Do panthers live in the... Is it panthers or pumas or one of those that live in the jungle, huh? Elephants, rhinos. Well, I'm not sure if rhinos, no, hippos maybe are more jungle, huh? I don't think rhinos are in the jungle. Let's try this one more time. Whoop. And we're going to push down. Boom. That one looks a little bit better. I like that one a little bit better. So let's go ahead and we're not going to die cut him because I did die cut one yesterday. So we'll use this and we will do some dies here, but we're going to make some clothes for him. So let's set this off to the side and we put our stamps. I'm going to put my stamps over there in my tray. That's one thing. If you have stamps and you lose them, the tray would help. The magnet sheet won't help your stamps, right? You're out of luck on the stamps. So we've got our monkey there, but we want to give him some clothes. So let's try to do that. Let's give him a shirt. Let's get a shirt and some shorts for him real quick. So what I did yesterday, just to give you an idea how this works if you're new. So this is a die, metal, and you run it through this machine here, and it basically just pushes down on the paper and cuts out your design. So I had, I stamped yesterday, and then I would take this die and just layer it over the top of that guy, run it through the machine, and then it comes out cut like this. So that would be the end result. Your monkey looks like this. He's no longer on the sheet. He is die cut perfectly. Okay, so that's what I did yesterday. Just taking a little shortcut here. But today we're going to give him some clothes. He needs some clothes. So let's give that a try. See what we can give this guy. We don't want the shadow. We want the inside pieces so it really fits him. There's his shirt. And he's got some shorts here. Let's give him some nice colors. What would work good today? Maybe something. Ooh, that's cool. Would that work? Green shorts, red shirt. Let's do a red shirt. And what color do we want his shorts to be? You want to kind of mix and match here. Now you could, just for the heck of it, let's do some pattern. Let's do some kind of pattern paper. Mix it up. Let's mix it up. Now this pattern paper has some flowers in it. Maybe there will be something that kind of looks jungle-y. No. No, you can't have flowers. Would it be platinum? No, none of those look good. This is one of those things where it's best if you pick out your paper ahead of time, because you're going to get distracted. Let's just for fun, give him some stripes. Let's give him some stripes. All right, we're not going to stamp, so we'll get that out of the way and bring our machine back over here. And I'm going to put the other dies there, and the dies we are using are already on the machine right there. They're really tiny. Hopefully you can see them. I'm going to zoom back just a little so you can see the machine, just how it works. And we're doing, let's give him red. We're going to do red shorts, and we'll do the stripes for his shirt. So we'll set that back there. And of course, you could trim this down. That would save us a little bit of time, or save us paper too. So you have the option to do that. I'm just using the pieces that are here. Okay. Leaving it just how it is. And we're going to run that through our machine. And we should come out with some cool stripes and some cool shorts. So you don't even have to go that far. These are really tiny dies. And let's get some adhesive for him. Now, of course, you probably don't want your monkey to be white. Let's see what they did in some of these other cards. We have a variety of different colors. Whoops. Oops. So there is a monkeys that have been colored with different shades of brown. You have that option. We have a gray monkey, dark haired and brown hair, but lighter skin. And then here we have another example with some brown and some dark right there. So you have all these different ways that you could go. My monkey right now is white, totally white. So you'd probably want to add some color to him. I don't see any of these card samples where the monkey was just white. Some of the time, I think you could get away with leaving the face white if you did his hair and his ears some different colors. So we've got these, and we're going to give him his clothes. And let's go ahead and add those to our little guy there. That's looking good. Oh, maybe he's like going surfing or something. Like if he had a surfboard, would that look cool? Doesn't that look like a surfing kind of monkey? That's what it makes me think of. So let's go ahead and get some adhesive. And look, I'm taking my dies and putting them in my tray, or your magnetic sheet. If you have one of those, even better. Gonna get that scrap out of there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on him. Again, we wouldn't usually want to do this on the machine or in any area that we want to keep glue free, but for now it's just fine. I'm kind of being careful. We'll get his shirt on there. And his shorts, looking good. So you can pick any colors you want. I wouldn't say that these necessarily coordinate, but they should work. All right, cool. There is my little monkey. So you could make a bunch of these guys like you saw on some of the cards. Pretty easy. Let me show you over here on camera 2. Boom, there he is. Pretty easy to do. You just need some coloring and you'll be ready to go. You can crank out a bunch of those little guys fast, huh? You can crank out a bunch of those. So think he's like on a surfboard. There he goes. Boom. Crash. Ah. All right. So there is our little Peeps. Whoops. Little Peeps. My monkey that I made. He'll be on my shoulder. I think he gets blurry, right? He's not focusing. But way more fun examples here than what I made. You can do just about anything you want with these. Happy everything. An upside down monkey and a right side up monkey. A monkey in a barrel. A monkey on a slim line. All kinds of different ways to use that. All right. From the Stamps of Life, November of 2021. If you have it, you want to use those monkeys. And remember, it works with the other little Peeps. Maybe you like the baseball gloves and the bats from the sports part of the little Peeps. That will work with the monkey. So maybe you bought that to go with one of the little boys or girls, but all the little items, the accessories that come with each of the little Peeps, they can get mixed and matched. You can use those in different ways. So check that out. All right, I have a couple loose dies here, so I'm going to get those out of the way. I'm getting ready for our next. Oh, we didn't do our fun facts. Fun facts for monkeys. Of course, it has to be about monkeys. Didn't remember I said we're going to do fun facts. So let's find that. 14 fascinating facts about monkeys. About monkeys. So let's check this out. This should be entertaining. This should be, if you want to know about monkeys, here is your chance to do that. You're going to learn all about monkeys. Switch back to my computer. All right. Not all, is that going to work still? Yep, there I am. Not all primates are monkeys. The term monkey is sometimes used as a catch-all for every animal in the primate family. But the truth is that monkeys live on completely different branches of the evolutionary tree, from apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, and humans. Okay, so one big difference between monkeys and other primates, here we go, is the tail. Did you know that? I don't see any people walking around with tails, so I wonder how close we really are related, But most monkeys have tails, while apes and other primates do not. Okay, there you go. So apes also tend to be larger than monkeys, and thanks to larger brains, more intelligent. Now, real quick, when I think about monkey, when you guys were maybe kids or teenagers, going way back, I'm thinking like, this is a long time ago, 70s, for sure 70s, probably 80s. Do you remember when you could go to the fair and they would have the little monkey? He would be on a leash and he would he would be out running around and he would take money from your hand. You guys remember that? Maybe it was a carnival or a fair, but in Southern California, they have the Los Angeles County Fair. And I remember those little monkeys being outside the auditoriums. And I always thought it was so cool. The little monkey would run over there and take your money. And there were some of them that they had trained that if it wasn't a certain amount of money or a certain kind of coin, the monkey would not come to your hand. He would just leave you hanging until you gave him more money. So do any of you remember that? When they had the little monkeys that would walk around and take money from your hands. I don't know. I guess I'm easily entertained, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. Let's see. What else? Back to our monkey facts. I got sidetracked there. I just couldn't get that out of my mind. They use grooming to strengthen relationships. Okay, here we go. Let's see if any of us do this. For monkeys, picking bugs, dirt, and other debris off their companions is far from an indictment of their personal hygiene. It's an expression of affection and love. So if you want to show somebody that you love them, just like, walk up to them and just start like picking off dirt from them or bugs or whatever. And I guess that means you love them. So I don't recommend trying that, but if you want to, that's what monkeys do to show they love each other. Researchers have discovered that monkeys comb each other's pelts. It fluffs the fur, makes it thicker. There you go. Only New World monkeys have, what is a prehensile tail? So there are some monkeys like howler monkeys and spider monkeys. What is a prehensile tail? I don't know. Oh, I think it can grip. They can grab stuff with their tail, and swing around with it. I think that's what it means. There's only one species of wild monkey in Europe. Barbecue, I think, how do you say that? Macaques have the distinction of being the only wild monkeys in Europe. They live in Morocco and Algeria. That's not really Morocco and Algeria. That's northern Africa. It's across the water from Europe. Is that part of Europe? I thought that was part of Africa. They're considered endangered. Look at this little guy. This world's smallest monkey, pygmy marmosets. They live in the Amazon, so that's down in South America. So we're in North America, most of us. In South America, you go south. Those monkeys are around 5 inches. Wow, that's like, that monkey is like that tall. And 4 ounces as an adult. That is a tiny monkey. I've never even heard of this. They live in groups of 2 to 6 individuals. Monogamous, their parents. Females give birth to 1 to 3 babies at a time, and they sometimes have twins, it says. Mandrills are the world's largest monkey. Wow. I wouldn't even think of that as a monkey, but it is. Look at the colors on that guy. Look at the colors. They live in tropical rainforests of Central West Africa. So these are kind of like a jungle. I would have thought he's like a baboon or something like that. The females weigh about 25 pounds. The male can weigh about 55 pounds and up to 119. Wow, that is a giant one. The color of a bald Yukari's face may reveal its health. Ooh, that guy doesn't look too good, but is red good or bad? Bald Yukari have striking red faces. Scientists have found evidence that the brighter the face, the healthier the world monkey. Good. So you want him to be bright red like a Santa outfit. Capuchins are smart with tools. Tools, what is he going to do with that? Break something? They're one of the first primates other than apes to be observed engaging in highly skilled tool use in the wild. What can they do? The most common example of the tools they use is they can crack open nuts by placing them on a stone and then hitting them with another rock. So they use rock as kind of like to crush open. So that's smart. Howler monkeys are the loudest. Ooh, he looks pretty loud. While all monkeys can make their presence known, howler monkeys have one of the loudest calls of any land mammal. Humans can hear a howler monkey roar from a distance of 3 miles. Wow. I wonder if that means they're mad about something or, yeah. Japanese, I don't know how to say that. Is it macaque enjoying a relaxing hot soak? Look at these guys, the monkeys in the snow. See, I never think of that. They're known as snow monkeys. They used to live in the subtropic. Now they can live in the subarctic. Troops of snow monkeys frequent the volcanic hot springs in Japan. They have adapted somehow to the frigid climate. Well, they have nice coats there, right? Monkeys choose their sleeping trees carefully. Monkeys sleep in trees at night, which they need to be selective about their snoozing spots. I guess that's to be safe. They don't want to be down on the ground. Some monkeys like to be near human settlements because their proximity to food. That's what I've heard. Like the monkeys will come into town and like raid all the trash cans or break into houses. I've heard stuff like that. These rhesus monkeys have the largest range of non-human primates. Let's see, how far can they go? The old world monkeys are native to Asia. Oh, they also live in Florida, South Carolina, Puerto Rico. So I guess they get around. Monkeys eat more than just bananas. You might picture a monkey eating a banana, but their diets are diverse. They mostly they're omnivores, so they eat nuts, fruits, leaves, flowers, vegetable barks, roots, rodents, birds, and vertebrates, and more. Yuck. I would not like to see a monkey chomping on a rat or chomping on a bird. That's gross. I mean, I know we eat stuff like that, but it just doesn't seem right. Many monkeys are at risk. Oh, bummer. All right, that's our fun facts for monkeys. So probably everything you wanted to learn about monkeys and maybe more than you wanted to learn. I don't know. All right, let's go on. Let's see what is up next. We are on to our next item, which is it going to be here? Dotted stars. Now, this one's going back a little bit farther. December of 2019. So this is almost 6 years old. So I bet unless you're really organized and you keep track of everything, if you have these, I bet you can't even find them. Does anybody have this dotted star set from 6 years ago? Anybody in the chat? And could you find it? Do you know where it is? Do you think you had it at one time and now it's just lost? It's possible. What do you expect? 6 years? It'd be hard to keep track of it for 6 years. But look at all this you get. You do get some without the dots, but you get a lot of shadows. You're going to be able to layer these. There is a sentiment that is, what does it say? Shine bright, it says. That is all in the set. Let me show you on the website before I show you. And I do have a bunch of card samples, but 6 years back for this one. So on the website now, hold on. We're going to do our Millionaire game here in just a minute. So let me show you what you get with this collection. There it is. Look at all of those dies. It's awesome. How many? 14 nested star dies. The largest die, which would be, if you can see me up here, that one right there, it's about 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches, pretty close. Okay, so that will work on any die cutting machine. And I don't think I have these card samples because originally this was, I believe it might have been an HSN item or a Sizzix item, one of those. But these are really cool. It really goes good with the guitars. I don't have any of these samples here. I have different ones. So you're going to see a good variety today. We have these samples on the website. Shine Bright on a step-up card. Shine Bright there again in the center. Look, different ways you can layer them. And different colors too. So think outside the box. Sometimes we think of stars as being just red, white, and blue and kind of 4th of July related, but you can use these anytime. You're a star. Shine bright. You rock. Way to go. Just a card of encouragement. Look at, you can stamp these guys, die cut these guys, layer them. Look how those are layered. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll layer some of these, see how they look. So that's on the website. And if you go down below, you're going to see some other stars. They're stitched. There's just a 5-star die set. That's a little different. There's no dots on that one. And then we have the star flip it, which looks nice. So you could layer the stitch stars onto this, and you could also add a dotted star. So if you have the combination, and there's some backgrounds, some stamps. Shine, that would work. Super, like a superstar. Shine bright. These sentiments would work there. So that's all on the website. Let's go ahead and I'll show you the samples I have here. Since I did die cut some stars yesterday, we'll probably just die cut a bunch of white ones and then kind of layer them and see how it looks. We'll see how it looks. So here we are. Switch over there. There we go. I do have some slim lines here to show you first. Let me get the ink out of the way. That looks about right. Good. So let's go slimline first. This will fit. Congratulations, it says. And look at the layering on that. That looks great. 3 layers. My first thought is, doing just 2 layers. But look, 3 makes it look even more exciting. And you've got the background red, white, and blue on there. Here is that sentiment in the middle. Shine bright, it says. Shine bright. And that is sparkling. Look at that. Great combination. A little bit of solids there, but you got your open star there in the center. That is a slimline card. What does it say? Congratulations. Fancy. That's a nice one. Okay, then our A2 cards. Look at all the different colors. Whoops. That doesn't go on there. Hello. Hello, it says. But again, using different colors. Again, a lot of time we get stuck. The stars, they got to be red, white, and blue. But look at these different colors and how nice they look. Or is that like a sprinkles background? Layering it over that. Nice to have a background behind there. Here we are back to red, white, and blue. Yay, it says. Yay. Nice and simple and basic and right to the point. There is one of our stars used as a fold-it. How about that? The largest star there made into a fold-it. It is possible to do that. Opens up just like that. You're an all-star. You're an all-star. That's my question for you. I see Yvette saying stars are her favorite. What is your favorite type of object to use on cards? That will be my question for you right now. What's your favorite type of object, shape to use on a card? So here we're featuring stars. Do you like squares? Do you like triangles or rectangles? And this can be layering or shapes like this. Do you like circles? What is your preference when it comes to card making? Are you a circle person, square, rectangle, star? What other? We have octagons. What other shapes might you think of? Add that in the chat. What is your favorite, kind of your go-to you find yourself creating the most not most awesome, the most often? Today we're featuring the stars, but there's lots of different shapes of cards. There's no right perfect answer, whatever you like. And you might like a variety of them. You might just get in a trend where you keep using that same shape over and over. But it's kind of nice to mix things up here every once in a while. There you are on a pattern paper background. Really, really good. Easy, easy, easy. And a happy birthday is our last one. Many hearts. I didn't think about that. 2 hearts, flowers. Good. Yeah. See, I wasn't even thinking about those. Hearts and flowers. Decal edge. Yes. There's a lot of variety. So I know at the Stamps of Life, you have lots of different options. You're never just stuck in just one, I can't get out of this routine. You can do it because we have a variety. Today, we're focusing on the star. Maybe you haven't made any cards that feature a star. Maybe it hasn't popped in your mind, but you can see how it kind of works with those music instruments or like a sports themed item, or maybe it's a birthday, or you just want to encourage somebody and let them know you're thinking about them. A star would be really nice. So let's go ahead and die cut. Now, again, I'd done some colors yesterday, but since I saw those ones that were layered there with the white, I want to make some white today. So let me show you what I have from yesterday. Let's see. And don't forget, after this, we're going to do our Millionaire game, and then we'll have our good news segment at the end. So let's switch back to our die cutting area, and hopefully you can see these real good. Now, these I cut out yesterday. Blueberry, and of course, see how I was thinking red, white, and blue. That was my first idea. I got to make some stars with red, and I got to make some stars with blue, and that's fine and everything. There is our shine bright there in the center. They all look good. I did push the limit a little bit. I made some gold ones, and these are, so this is glitter there on that. So you've got glitter. And then this is just basic paper. But let's go ahead, and we want to give this a little bit different look. They all look nice, and you could add that to a card front. Do I have a card front over here that it might fit on? Let's see. I made a couple extras, so would blue work on here? And we could even layer just some of these. So that's kind of a little bit dark. It doesn't look bad, but that makes it a little more interesting, right? So the contrast of the lighter and darker colors definitely make a difference. Let's try this with gold. Will that layer on there? Oh, yeah, that looks good too. So you can start to layer on that if you wanted to, add your solids. That's dotted. I think I have a couple solids down here. Fun. Good. So you're off to a good start there, right? You see the difference, layering, making some little solids, a dotted just off by itself. Of course, maybe you had a background of a lighter color in here. That would look nice. A background die could work on this. Layer your stars on top. So let's set these off to the side, and let's go ahead and cut some of these stars. I got a whole bunch of them, so I'm just going to layer these. I'm just going to set a whole bunch on our white sheet of cardstock and run it through once, and we're going to get a bunch of different sizes and shapes. Not shapes, but different ways that we can work with that. So let me set that there, but I'm looking for white cardstock. And I thought I had some scrap, but I do not. So let's go ahead and find a new sheet. I have tons and tons of scrap sheets of cardstock here. So it's like, I have so much cardstock here, I would never even use all that I have. If there was a way for me to share it and give it away, some of it to you, I would love to be able to do that, because I have a stash here that it's not sellable, but it definitely works for cards. So we're just going to peel a whole bunch of these off and run them through here and see what we get. That might be useful. A few different sizes. We get a little tiny one, little baby one there. And these, after I run it through the machine, I'm definitely going to put in my little tray there, because there are so many of them. They're going to get lost, and I probably wouldn't even know it. So I've got a good amount there. Let's go ahead and grab one more this size, and we'll see what we get. Again, we're just trying to show some contrast between the darker colors and the lighter colors. Let's run that through. I'm going to look real quick to see if I have a white card base as well. Those are going through there. And let's see, I'm looking for my card base here, so hang on. Oh, This is not white, but it is a lighter color, so we'll take a look at them on that as well. And finish that up. Let's see what's going on here. And sorry about that. I did not get that lined up right, so that's why you got some of that squeaking. So here's all the stuff I had to put away in my little tray a bit earlier. And we don't want that to slide off. We'll set that on the ground. We're all done. And I'm going to set all my dies in here because I don't want them to disappear. Okay. Yeah, great. Got them. Let's get that out of there. Now this one is not going to work. This one here, you need to have the, no, that's not true. Let me see. I don't think this die works without another die being around it, and I ran it only by itself. So the one with the word, you have to have an extra die to run around it to cut it out. So that one's not going to work. It does, it works like it's supposed to, but in order to get it out of here, you have to have another die run around it when you go through the machine. So let's use the ones that will work. Again, these are all white. And we'll set that off to the side. Did I get the small one? I did. So there's our light color. Ooh, there's a little tiny die that almost disappeared. And we're done with our machine for today. So we'll set these here. And machine, you can go down on the ground because you're taking up way too much space. Way too much space. Ooh, that's bright. Bright, bright, bright. Bright, bright, bright. You can't see anything now, huh? All right, this will help. There we are. So we have a lighter color there. We have a darker color card base. You can have different options here, and let's just kind of look and see how these work out. I'm going to set these new white ones up here that we just created. And it looks like I missed my little tiny, tiny baby star did disappear. Huh. I see I cut it out, but I don't see it here. Ah, poor little star. So we did lose one star. Let me double check and make sure. No. One star is missing. One star is missing, but we can go on. So just say if we're here on this top, and yesterday I did die cut this out, the Shine Bright. You can just layer on just like that. Simple, easy, nice colors. Larger star. This would look nice on a scrapbook page. This was the one that designer earlier used to create the folded option. Okay, so that's the largest die. You could also, let's see if it works on like that. There's a little bit different look. So you have all the little dots and the white coming through there. Shine Bright, it says. And we could also do some red and whites on here. Let's layer it so we have the white underneath. And I got to hit my alarm there real quick. Good. And do we like that one? I think that one looks better in that. So here's an option. And think of putting this on like a 5x7 if you need a little more space. This might look nicer on a 5x7 because it is kind of large, but our smaller ones work there. And maybe you want to go with the gold that we had earlier. You can mix and match. There's no right way to do this. You get to choose whatever options you want. Here it is, light underneath with a dark on top. So you've got dotted, and then it's just like endless possibilities here, right? There's so many different things you could do. This one here, if you want to go red and blue, you can go that way too. So there's no right way, wrong way. Mix them and match them however you want. Now let's see, this is our darker card. So let's see how that would look on here. That looks really sharp. That white on a darker background, that looks nice. It stands out a little bit more. Again, this is the largest die. You're going to have to go at an angle if you want it to fit on the front of your A2 card. Or you can just move down and pick some of the smaller dies. You have the option to do that. So this one would definitely fit on there. And then I had a ton more too. So these are dies we didn't even use. It creates so many opportunities. So we talked about the different shapes. Today we're looking at dotted stars. Okay, dotted stars. And the set does include some dies that are not dotted. So you have the option to mix and match with the different patterns. But we have all kinds of shapes on our website. I know some of you were mentioning hearts, I know we have different shapes like the elegant shape or majestic. I didn't even think about those. Then we do have just regular layering rectangles and squares. Some of them are dotted, some of them are not. We have stitched versions. There's all just different kinds of stuff that you could do there. So those were examples that I had made, really quickly. But again, back to the items that we had from the design team. They're a little more colorful and exciting. You can do these pattern paper, some solid papers. This is felt being used on this card, felt. There's that U rock. Those are a little bit brighter colors there. And then our basic kind of traditional red, white, and blues. I like that one. Thinking outside the box, different colors. Hello, it says, and that one's awesome too. So those are all examples of ways that you could use the dotted stars from the Stamps of Life. And if you have these, you might have said, hey, I do have those. But now that 4th of July is gone, I don't have any reason to use them. Well, the truth is you can use these stars like all kinds of different occasions, graduations, birthdays, again, just a hello card, all kinds of different ways. So that's on the Stamps of Life website. All right, let's see. What else are we doing? Oh, we're going to play our game now. So you can get that. I showed you the items on the website. They layer nice. Like I see a picture here where it is on a stand-up card. If you have a step-up die set. So think of all the card bases you have. Some of them might be different styles. You might just have basic A2s, or you might have a folded card. A lot of these dies, the different shapes, and specifically these dotted stars might layer on there really nice. So think about that. Some fun other ways you can use it is like I did die cut with some of the gold glitter paper. If you have gold, or if you have glitter paper or holographic paper, or what else, pearl paper, those would all be excellent ways to just add a little bit of extra. Okay, a little bit of extra. Rochelle, I think you would find those. Let's see if you're in the gallery. I would go and search. Let's see, the gallery is new and updated, so I haven't been on here. Let's see. So search gallery, and there's a little search box there. I'm going to type in dotted and star and see what comes up. Yes. So if you go on the gallery page, let me show you guys, because this is the first time I've seen it, so it looks really nice. Let's switch over to the gallery. So you're on the Stamps of Life website. And let me go ahead and get rid of this. I made a new banner up top because I think some of the time you guys are watching this, somebody's watching this video and they're all, who are these people? So what is Take Two Tuesday? But I'll give you our website. Let's see. Where is it? Up there. Let's see if that will work. Yeah. So Stamps of Life, and I'm going to get rid of that little box up there. So we're the stampsoflife.com. So you are on our website. This is the gallery page. You see right up there at the top. It says gallery. Right there, I clicked on that button and then I made it to this page. Then what I did is here in the search gallery, I typed in I'm going to do something else. I'm going to just type in hearts. Okay, hearts, and let's see what comes up. So look, all these different ideas featuring hearts will fill in. So nice. Well, we're thinking about dotted stars, so let's go back to that. So I type in dotted star. And then I hit the little search there. Boom. All of those show up. Okay. There's 16 ideas right there. And there's different categories also. So all this is new to me, but you can check it out on the Stamps of Life website. Search that gallery page. That has a nice search function. That is new as far as I know. Great, 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 great. Okay, oh, darn, I see, look at it. I'm supposed to say the Stamps of Life up there, but it doesn't show up very good. So that was a test. I wanted to make it be pink, but it doesn't show up that good. So I'm going to fix that writing up there at the top. It should say the Stamps of Life, but I'm going to have to make it white for it to show up. I'm going to have to make it white. All right, what else? Oh, we're going to do our game. Game time. And let me get rid of that dumb thing up there at the top since it doesn't look that good. All right, we are going to play Millionaire. Now, Millionaire, I need help because of this game, the questions get harder and harder, right? So I might get a couple right on my own at the beginning, but I'm counting on you guys to help me out. Here we go. I'm going to share a page with you. and we'll play this game together. So now last time again, we did win $1 million. So let's try again. Share a screen, and we're going to share Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Bum, bum, bum. Now, hopefully we get sound. I don't know. Let me see what you guys can see. Yep, there's our game. I'm going to move that over there so I can see your chat. Again, help me out in the chat, okay? Help me out in the chat. Yeah, CC, I could see it too, but we really had to strain to see it, huh? So hopefully it will show up better when I change the writing to be white. I was hoping to do pink just because it's kind of our color, but okay, Millionaire, here we go. Oh, good, we have some sound. I hope you can get the sound there. So answer in the chat. I'll be watching for you guys to help me out. I've got the chance there. And I think we did a quiz last week. We bombed, but Millionaire, this is one of our games. We can do it. Here we go. What is the central part of an Apple car called? Is it a cave? Is it a core? Is it a colt? Is it a cage? You and I know this one. Apple core. Now the key is that I don't push the wrong buttons, right? I don't want to push the wrong button. Next question. Help me out in the chat. Which of these is a color? Oh, now I need a little bit of help. A, yenta. B, polenta. C, magenta. D, tormenta. Help me out in the chat. I think I know it, but you guys help me. I have one of these in mind. I've only heard of one of these, so it's got to be, yeah, magenta, right? Thank you. We're going magenta. C. All right. We're on our way. What is the first name of the fashion designing younger sister of Gianni? Oh, this is tough. What is the first name of the fashion designing younger sister of Gianni Versace? Does anybody know? You guys are the fashion people out there. I am not. So this is just, Does anybody know this one? Oh, Gianni Versace's younger sister. Donatella, you guys are saying? All right, we got a couple D's. Anybody else back that up? Okay, Sylvie says D also. CC's got D. Okay, we're going to go D. Yes, nice. Which of these is a bird of prey, like a hunting bird? A stork, a parrot, a flamingo, a falcon? It's got to be falcon, right? Falcon. It's got to be falcon. Falcon for 500, am I right? You guys agree? Falcon? Jump in there in the boat. Falcon, right? Falcon. It's got to be falcon. All right, let's try it. Yeah. That was easy. Francis Ford Coppola directed 3 parts of which film's saga? Was it Jaws? Was it The Godfather? Alien or Godzilla? Which Francis Ford? I'm saying The Godfather. What do you guys say? I'm not 100% sure. I know it's not Alien. I know it's not Godzilla. I don't think it's Jaws. Isn't Jaws Spielberger? What do you guys guess? Godfather, yeah. Godfather. Okay, yes. It's got to be Godfather. Good. On our way. We're going to win another million today. I can just do it. Next question for $2,000. $2,000. Come on. Which of these is another word for lacrimation? Now it's getting tougher. Lacrimation. Does anybody know? Lacrimation. Please help me, somebody. If I don't get any answers, any help on this one, I'm going to have to do 50-50. Because I have no idea. Well, it could be a question mark. Rochelle says A with question marks. Yeah, could be. I would put a question mark by it too. Anybody else? Is Michelle the only one going to take a chance on this one? Nobody knows. Crying, says Sharon. Anybody else? Yvette says crying. Nobody's cheating, right? Nobody's Googling. A, says Sharon. Okay. Yes is A. Everybody's kind of going A. So we had a B with the question. So we're going to say we're 50-50. We're going to go A. Oh, good. You said anything else besides A? All right, 4,000. 4,000. 4,000. I'll Be Missing You was a #1 hit in 1997 for Faith Evans and what artist? I'll Be Missing You. Singing the song with Snoop Dogg, LL Cool J, Will Smith, or Puff Daddy? Whoa. Who knows their R&B rap artists? I don't know this one. I don't know this one. Absolutely no idea, says Sharon. Yes. Does somebody know Faith Evans' music and who sang that song with her? Anybody? Does anybody know the song I'll Be Missing You? It was #1. This is just not our. Oh, Cece says D and Dawn says D. All right, we're going with that. Paula says D. Okay. Yes, good job. They saved us. Dawn and Paula, you saved us. Next, for what is it, 8,000? Which young animal shares its name with a type of shoe heel? Puppy, cub, fawn, or kitten? Which young animal shares its name with a type of shoe heel? I've never heard of a puppy heel, a cub heel, a fawn heel, or D, a kitten heel. All right, we got D's going. You guys, ladies, know this way better than me. You know your shoe heels, right? A kitten. I've never heard of a kitten heel. We got 2 for D. Anybody else? Trying to get some confirmation on this. Anybody else? Cece says D also. All right, let's try it. Yes. Next question for 16,000. Okay. Who started Protestantism? I know this one. Martin Luther. I'm going to take responsibility for this one, everybody. Who started? Hey, where'd the answers go? Look at that. I'm going here. Even though it's invisible, it said Martin Luther. Even though they hit all the answers, I still got it right. Thanks, Barbara. Why are we losing some of our information here? Next question. Which of these was used for chariot racing in ancient Rome? The palindrome, the hippodrome, the aerodrome, the velodrome. Does anybody know their drones? Which of these was used for chariot racing in ancient Rome? I'm not sure about this one. Not sure about this one. I think it's, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody help me. No Googling. Where did they do the chariot racing? Velodrome, says Sharon. Yes. Anybody else guessing? CC also says velodrome. Dawn's guessing C. So we're just getting guesses, right? Except CC thinks she knows it. We might do 50-50 on this one. Let's do it. We don't have confidence on this one. Let's try 50-50. Our 50-50 is CD. Either B or D. You guys have guessed D, so we're going D. All right, we're going to go D. I'm not responsible. Dawn, I wish you would have guessed sooner. So sad. So sad. Well, that was fun, I think. Let's get rid of that one. We're not going to be rich today. We're not going to be rich today. What can we do? We tried our best. We tried our best. That is still playing, so I'm going to close that. Stop sharing that one. Get rid of the music. Oh, the music's gone. You guys still hear the music, or is it gone? I'm going to close this page. Go away, music. All right. If you have your Bibles, good news time. Good news time. Let's see. We are Romans 12. Romans 12, and we are actually verse number, because we're just kind of picking out verses. Verse number 2. Verse number 2. And let me find our verse for you so I can share it with you. If you have a Bible, I'm using my tablet. Maybe you have one on a phone. Maybe you have a full-on paper one. Any way you get it. I have a computer here, I could type in Bible and it would find it. I'm using New King James Version, and the app that I'm using is called, where is it? YouVersion. YouVersion, the Bible app by YouVersion. And so I just type in my Bible. It finds Romans, and Romans chapter 12, verse 2. A couple good verses here. Let's see. Let's find our verse for today. This is a great one because it kind of is something we want to keep in mind as we practically follow God, okay? We have choices to make, and God gives us freedom to make a lot of choices. But we have this one choice that is really important, and we're going to kind of read about that here today. So let me find our verse. Here we are. It says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." So we have choices in this world to make. And we have the choice. We can either go God's way or we can go the ways of the world. Now, the thing is, they really are in contrast to each other. The ways of Jesus are a lot different than the ways of the world. And so we are presented with these choices every day of what am I going to do? Am I going to decide, purpose in my heart, that I am going to be conformed by God? Well, how does that happen? The primary way that we are conformed by God, because I think the best way we can hear from God is by reading our Bibles. When we read God's instructions, the way he tells us to live, the way he's modeled for us, when we see Jesus' ministry, maybe we see some commands in the Old Testament. We see the way people treated each other correctly in the Bible. And then we also see the examples on the other side when God gives us some examples that are, hey, you don't want to do this. So you see both of those things. Maybe it's instruction from the Proverbs. Remember, we went through all the Proverbs, not all of them, but we went through a lot of them. And then maybe there's something in Psalms. Psalms has events where the psalmist, the writer, is really high and also low. Well, we have all this instruction, and the way we get it into our minds is by opening God's word and reading it. Okay. And so it comes into our hearts, but now we have to allow it to conform us and change us. And it's to be making us into the image of Jesus. God is wanting to work in our lives in different ways to make us more and more like his son. Remember when Jesus was baptized, God speaks from heaven. He says, hey, this is my son. With him I am well pleased. So if we're following the model of Jesus, we're going to be getting conformed into the things that are good for us, things that God wants for us. Now, the thing is, we live in this world, right? And what does it warn us right here? It says, do not be conformed by this world. So you know that nowadays, like, our world can be pretty divisive, right? It seems like there's just people who do crazy stuff, and then there's people who just argue about everything, and you could be on the right, or you could be on the left, or you could be a little more socially interested, or maybe you're a little more conservative or a little more liberal, or you're more educated or less educated, or maybe you're wealthy, or maybe you're just getting by. You have all these different voices, right? And they're all trying to, I don't know, mess with our minds. They're trying to get us to conform to the world. Well, we want to make sure that's not happening. We don't want to allow these other things to conform us into things that are not in alignment with God. So again, the directions can come from us all over the place, but rather than politics or material things or prosperity or power or any of these things, we don't want to get conformed into seeking after these things and pursuing them. Rather, we want to pursue God, and we want to know him better. And we want to have him work in our lives in such a way as that he's changing us and conforming us again into the image of Jesus Christ. Now, I was with the guys at our men's group today, and we did this study from Genesis. If you know Genesis a little bit, it's like the early patriarchs, the leaders of Israel, where there was this one family, the family of Jacob. He has a bunch of sons. He has one son named Joseph, who he ends up, no fault of his own, his brothers turn on him and reject him, and he ends up in prison, and he's stuck there. Well, eventually he makes it out of prison, and he's able to interpret dreams. God gives him the power to do this. And while Pharaoh has this weird dream and he doesn't understand it, and they find Joseph and they ask him, what does this dream mean? And Joseph gives credit to God. I don't know what this means, Pharaoh, but God does. And so he goes and he explains it to him. And in the end, all the people of Egypt are saved. Joseph becomes very powerful and very wealthy. He becomes like the number 2 person in Egypt, only under Pharaoh. So everything is good, but there would be the temptation for Joseph, who is a Hebrew, an Israelite, a follower of God, to start to conform to become more like the Egyptians. Now, the Egyptians, they had all these different gods. They didn't believe in the God of the Bible. They would have been trying to get Joseph to conform and change into their ways. And they gave him power. They gave him wealth. They gave him a wife who was an Egyptian. And so all of these things would be working on him to try to conform him into the ways of the Egyptian society, the world. But we don't want to become, again, like the world. And so Joseph, what happens to him, you think all these things, he becomes very famous and, again, powerful and wealthy. He has a family, and so you think these things might draw him away from God. But it was interesting when it says that him and his wife, they had children. He named the children in connection with God. So if you read the verses, this is Genesis 41 or 42, I can't remember. And when the children come, he names them, but he reflects upon how it connects him to God. And so that was good. So you can see that Joseph is not being conformed to become an Egyptian. He's still got God on his mind. And God had promised Joseph a long time ago that he was going to raise him up to do important, special things. He was going to be a leader of the Israelites. So then you go a little bit later in his life, in the end of Genesis, it says that Joseph was ready to die. And he said, you know what? When I pass away, I don't want to get buried here in Egypt. I want you to take my body and I want you to bury me back in the promised land where God was going to take the Israelites. They're going to be their homeland, Israel. He wanted to be buried there. So in the end, he didn't want anything to do with Egypt. He wanted to be among God's people. He wanted to be in God's land. And all the time, as you follow Joseph's life, he's always connected with God. He's always promoting God. That anything he did is because God gave him the ability. There was temptation that came his way. He overcame it by saying, no, this would not be right to sin against God. He always stayed conformed to the ways that would be beneficial to him, the ways that would lead him closer to the Lord. So I thought that was a great example. A young guy, he's probably in his 20s and 30s when he's going through all of this. And you know how when we're younger, we can kind of get twisted up into things that aren't very good for us. And so that came Joseph's way. He was being tempted, definitely being in Egypt, to be conformed to the ways of the world. So for you and for myself, what do we have to fight against? What comes to mind when you think of that? Is there something that you need to fight against to make sure that you're not persuaded to go that way rather than being conformed to God's way? What comes to your mind? I know for me, like things that I could watch that would not be good for me. I have to kind of shut those things out, not spend time with those things. I know I could waste a ton of time watching sports, which sports is fine and good, but do I want to waste all my time just watching sports, or do I want to spend time with my family, showing them God's love, or do I want to be able to minister and do things at our church or help out with the kids at the youth group? So I have to balance my time. So what kind of things might be vying for your attention? Is it, excuse me, is it money things? Is it getting noticed? Maybe there's some people are tempted by drugs or alcohol, or maybe gambling, or maybe it's just small things like, being deceitful or dishonest, or maybe being prideful or selfish. These are all things that the world says is okay. The world says, get this or act this way. This will make you happy. You'll be fulfilled, but we find that's not true. So think for yourself, what is there some area in your life that might be tugging on you? For Joseph, it was the Egyptian society that he lived in. For you, it might be the management of your time, or the people you hang out with, or maybe one of those vices, those things we talked about, maybe they kind of do have a hold on you. What is it that is trying to conform you, to connect you more with the world and draw you away from God? Now, whatever that is, we want to make sure we stay far away from that. And rather than focusing on, well, I can't do that, you know how we get like that. Let's not focus so much on what we can't do, but let's focus on what we can do. And we can figure out what we can do by getting into God's word, reading his instruction, and then applying it to our life and living it out. If we're just living for the things that are pleasing to God, the things that are to our benefit, the things that will draw us closer to him and to his family, we're going to be really blessed. And we're going to have a full, abundant life. We're not going to have time to waste. We're not going to be bored. We're not going to be worried or afraid, or we're not going to feel like we're missing out either. So look for ways that you can allow yourself to be conformed into the ways that your mind is thinking in connection with God. That, again, let's look at our verse one more time and then we'll finish up. So back to our verse, it says, and do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then it says, you'll get into God's will. You'll find the perfect place that God has for you. You'll experience the peace of God that can change your life as God works in it. All you have to do is say, I'm going to set my mind on the things of God and not the things of this world. All right, pretty simple. All right, that's great. I hope you had a good time. Thanks for hanging out with me through our fun today. We did some crafting. We didn't win. We only got $1,000 this time. We learned about monkeys. We learned how to make sure that we're getting focused on God and his kingdom and not getting attached to this world. I think that's really important, okay? I hope that helps some of you. Reminder tonight, Stephanie will be live, okay? Don't forget that. Club reveal tonight. And then we have the club reveal tonight, and then we have Crafting Corner with a 30-second card. And if you are a Folded Club member, I'm going to start shipping those out tomorrow. I don't think all of them will make it out, but I will start to get those out to you. That is it. I'm going to wrap things up here. It's a hot, crazy day here in Southern California. Only in the mid 80s, but it feels super humid today. I don't know why. Humid for us. So thank you all for hanging out with me. I see some of you are saying thanks. So thanks, Peggy and Veer and Debbie and Yvette and Diane and Amanda and Barbara. I see some of those names. Teresa, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had a fun time. We'll do this again next, if Lord willing. We'll be back next Tuesday for another Take Two Tuesday. What was this? Episode 88. 88. We've done this 88 times already. All right. Take care, all of you. May God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day. Look for ways to get closer to God today, and look for ways to avoid getting attached more to this world. Let's practice that today. All right. Let's put what we learned into practice today. Look for good things that will draw you closer to Jesus, and avoid some things we talked about that aren't so good for us. All right. I'll see you soon. Take care now.